rate. And sometimes you then put my office in a very peculiar or uncomfortable position, where at times I then have to make a call to say, since the wetlands are not being protected, do I then allow urban farmers or I allow the land to borrow? I don't want either to be there. But when we then say strategically set up these committees, if you remember carefully, I think we had a big discussion with my lovely friend here on Ramsar sites. And I said that the Ramsar sites, as much as it can be declared in all those issues, you want as much buy-in from the city, you want as much buy-in from the residents so that they can clearly appreciate. So I just thought I would touch on the LEAP aspect. I want you to see how dangerous it is that you are driving an agenda without the prerequisites for you to achieve the mission you're on. We've had so much corruption in this great nation of ours over the years that sometimes, Mr. Mavondo, when I drive around and I see people building a 3-story building on a wetland, I actually am in shock, and I'm wondering which blind person from Emma would have allowed such developments to happen. So one of the things that I've promised your minister is that from now on, if there's a wetland which has been given a certificate to say this is fine, we should allow people to challenge that certificate. We should allow that. Because sometimes we can't connive in offices and agree at the expense of the residents who are on the ground. And to those who know me, I don't say, I'm not a politician, by the way. I say things because they're technically correct. So even though I'm sitting with the mayor, if he's wrong, he's wrong. If the town clerk is wrong, they're wrong. And if Emma is wrong on certain parts, it is wrong. So as it is right now, we've got so many buildings which are being built, especially houses in the low density suburbs, where right now I can tell you, if you go into Robe Valley, if you go into the Grange, you go into Borrowdale, you go into Warren Park, you go down to Mapuku, a lot of places, even if you go into Tafadzwa, you go into Epworth, there are people who are holding valid EMA certificates, but in a invalid piece of land. So these are some of the things. That's why when you call them here, as my provincial head for EMA, when you call him here, ask the tough questions. Don't discuss these things in the corridors on your way out and you go, no. Our meetings in Harare should put us on the edge. We should be prepared to answer the tough questions. That's why I've said Harare Wetlands Trust and all other people join the thematic committee, so that when they then meet and they're following through, you are holding each other to accountability. There's also the aspect of strengthening public notification and consultation processes prior to any planned interference with wetlands. We are not doing enough consultations. And even amongst yourselves as Harare Wetland Trust, you differ. I had a man who came to my office the other time, and he's a member of some of your groups, and he says to me, I want to go and build in this particular area, but it's going to be a soft project. And I remember 48 hours before, you had invited me to Cresta, where you had begged me to say, PTC, please don't allow soft projects. And one of your members then comes to my office and says, here's the maps, this is the area, I need your seal of approval. And I gladly showed him the door. Why? Because we can't have double standards. You can't be in a Harare Wetlands Trust today advocating for something, and then when it suits you, you now advocate against the same thing, the principles. Let's be principled, ladies and gentlemen. Let's be principled. Let's be principled, because this is where you put government officials into a very tricky position. And unfortunately, some of you have got the nerve that you go through ministers, you even go to the office of the president, and by the time you come, your name dropping. Let me say it now, that will not work. Let's be principled, period. That's what we should do. Let's be principled, and then we start really addressing the issues of addressing land and everything else with wetlands.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.